Let's talk about Francisco Lindor, on the other hand, also finding some success. So he cuts his hair, then he celebrates the birth of his second child, and then on Father's Day hits a home run, and then hits another home run the day after that on Monday. So, Tim, do you think that this is a turning point for Lindor in terms of just his consistency at the plate?
You sure hope so. I know he hopes so. It is a compelling narrative to say that it's not just cutting the hair; it's the birth of his second child. I know Francisco was pretty candid back in 2021, at least after the fact, about how much the trade, making the change in teams to New York, but also the birth of his first child. I think the phrase he kept using was it was difficult to get his arms all around everything at that time, and he was pretty open this year that he was thinking a lot about his wife going through that pregnancy. I think most parents would tell you that the final weeks of a pregnancy are not the most fun part of your life. And so hopefully from the Mets perspective, that having that stress reduced a little bit frees up his mind a little bit. He's a better hitter than he has shown clearly. It was kind of a weird season, and it started trending in a negative direction for him in May. You hope that he's been able to find something against right-handed pitching in particular, because that's where the struggles have really been pronounced. He's always been a relatively even switch hitter. So you hope that this is his response against righties, and he's able to carry that going into the next month.
Yeah, Dave, how do you evaluate his offensive production as a whole this season? I mean, he has the elevated RBIs, but the batting average is low.
Well, I mean, if you could, first of all, I just wanted to say that, if this Lindor keeps this up, you're going to see a lot more June birthdays for players, kids, being a trendsetter there. But, I think the problem with Lindor, and we've seen, and this is kind of an extreme example that's going on this year, is getting in love with the power side to his game, and, we saw that in Cleveland where he kind of had that one breakout year, where all of a sudden, with the juice ball, he was starting to think he was that kind of guy. That could just hit, 30 home runs or whatever it is. So I think he kind of falls in love with that sometimes. I think you see kind of his swing path in the beginning part of the season, just always going for the power aspect and the launch angle here. And that's why you saw, his strikeout numbers were through the roof. And I think that's problematic for him. He's too athletic of a player to just live like that. I mean, he can run, and putting the ball in play is, it is his friend. So I don't know how you get him out of that. God knows we've talked to him, about the strikeout numbers and why the other numbers have been as low. I mean, the numbers are up now. I mean, he was at one point, I think he was hitting like 212 with an on-base percentage below 300. I mean, those are incredible numbers, for a player of his stature. Salary aside, I mean, 341 million, we'll even take that off the table. But for a guy of his ability, and again, multi-dimensional ability, not just, gap home run ability, those numbers were wild. And I think maybe now, again, his salvation here is the home runs and the RBI total, which has kind of put him more, an elite class for those numbers. But man, you have to see those other slash marks, come up for him, because they're just not representative of a guy that the Mets have, hitting in the, top three of their lineup or so. So we'll see which way those go. I'm pessimistic on that. I think he likes the home runs and RBIs, so I don't really think he's going to feel too necessary to change, but I guess we'll see.